Out here, I've got 300 acres of wide open sky, cedar fences, and the steady beat of hoofs on dirt. My name's Cole Travers, I'm 39. And this ranch isn't just my livelihood, it's my whole damn life. I've been raising top-tier quarter horses since my 20s, bloodlines, barrel racing, training young riders. It's not flashy, but it's real. Out here, the quiet isn't free, you earn it. I never wanted neighbors, especially not the kind who fuss over grass length in newsletters. So when they started building Pinewood estates across the creek, fancy houses with golf cart garages and identical mailboxes, I kept to myself. Let them have their polished little world. I've got foals being born and tractors coughing before dawn. No room for their nosy nonsense. Then she rolled up. White Escalade, designer shades, heels sinking 2 inches into my gravel drive. She introduced herself like she was gracing me with her presence. Lydia Hartwell, president of the Pinewood Estates HOA. Her voice dripped honey, but her eyes were sizing up my land, my barn, my patience. We'd love to arrange community access to your ranch, she said, like it was a done deal. Trail walks, family tours, photo ops with the horses. Our kids just adore animals. I blinked, then gave the only answer that made sense. No, her smile didn't just fade, it crashed. You can't just refuse, she snapped. You're next to an HOA community. That makes you part of the bigger neighborhood. Cooperation's expected. Isolation's not healthy. I stared at her. Lady, I manage a herd of unpredictable 1,000-pound beasts. You think I can't spot a threat wrapped in a sales pitch? You don't get my land just because you built nearby. I'm not in your HOA. I didn't sign up for your field trips. Her gaze turned cold. If necessary, we can explore legal options, community access, zoning tweaks. Something to consider. I considered it, all right, and decided then and there. If Lydia wanted a fight, she'd picked the wrong rancher. I thought she'd slink back to her HOA throne and bother someone else, maybe nag a neighbor over a slightly oversized porch light. But no, she tasted resistance, and it hit her like a sugar rush. Within days, the pressure started subtle at first, then nonstop. It kicked off with a letter from the county tax office. Some anonymous tipster claimed my ranch was running commercial ops without proper permits. I've got more paperwork than fence posts. Every horse, every event, every feed been documented and triple-checked. Still, it took 2 afternoons and a lawyer to untangle the mess. Time, cash, hassle, just the start. Next, the fire department showed up, lights off but attitude on, saying they'd gotten a call about unsafe hay storage. They poked around my barn like I was hiding dynamite. The hay was perfect, stacked, secure, dry, but one of them scribbled, "Area should be inspected yearly for safety." Another annual headache thanks to Lydia. Then my longtime clients started dropping lessons. One forwarded me an anonymous email from a random male, no name, just lies about animal neglect and faulty gear at my ranch. Pure fiction, but fear spreads quick when kids and horses are involved. The last straw? My ranch hand, Miguel, found a note taped to his truck. You seem decent. This place won't last. Get out while you can. Miguel's tough, raised in rodeo, but even he looked shaken. This about that HOA lady? He asked, eyes sharp. I nodded. She's not asking anymore. She's playing dirty. We upgraded the cameras, logged every call, every VY sit. I put in a steel gate, code locked. Caught Lydia's SUV creeping by at dawn 3 times in a week, never stopping, just watching. She came back, this time with reinforcement, 2 HOA board members clutching folders like they were raiding my place. Lydia stepped up like she owned it. We've documented violations and complaints. The HOA is ready to escalate legally if you keep denying access. County rules say private roads next to zone communities can be petitioned for shared use. It'd be a shame to drag this to court. I laughed short, stunned, the kind where you can't believe the nonsense. Lydia, I said, you're trying to scare a guy who wrestles stubborn half-done animals for a levying. You think your little folder and legal threats will break me? Her lips twitched. You've made your choice, she hissed. Damn right I have. She stormed off in a huff of perfume and fury. That night, I called my lawyer, Travis, and laid it all out. He said one thing. Time to hit back. We were done dodging punches. Lydia thought she could bury me in complaints and HOA fantasies, but she didn't count on me fighting back. I handed everything to Travis, emails, screenshots, camera footage, even audio of Lydia screeching into my intercom. He's dry as a desert wind but cuts through legal tangles like a blade. He went quiet, then muttered, she really thought she'd get away with this. Then we struck gold. TRAVUIS dug through public records at the zoning office and found an application from Pinewood Estates HOA to rezone a 40-foot strip along my east fence from private agricultural to community access. A slick move to force a trail through my land. The signature? L. Hartwell. That was it. TRAVUIS filed a lawsuit the next day. Travers vs. Pinewood Estates HOA claiming business interference, harassment, reputational damage, illegal rezoning attempts, and conspiracy to misuse county processes. We weren't just defending, we were flipping the game. The HOA went silent for 2 weeks, no calls, no emails, just thick tension. Then they went public. I woke up to flyers plastered on fence posts and mailboxes. Support community integration. Let private greed do us. Lydia had booked the local library for a neighborhood cohesion meeting. They didn't expect me to show. I walked in dusty boots, old denim jacket, handing out copies of my deed, zoning map, and their complaint list. Lydia stood to speak, but TRAVUIS cut in with a binder and flash drive. Supplementary material, he said, plugging into the projector. Up came the footage. Lydia yelling at my gate, her SUV prowling at night, her peering over my fence with binoculars. The room gasped. She ranted about community morals, but the intercom clip drowned her out. You think you're safe? That barn's ours. Silence fell hard. The case took off, court dates set. Evidence piled up. We got a whistleblower, a former HOA member who'd quit after Lydia's power grab. We even requested a permanent ban on HOA access to my land. Lydia had messed with the wrong guy, and now I had the law on my side. The courthouse smelled like stale paper and a forgotten sandwich, but I walked in ready, boots shined, TRAVUIS beside me with a folder thick enough for a crime novel. Lydia sat with her lawyers, a trio of grim suits whispering like vultures. She wore a lavender blazer and pearls, jaw twitching when I sat down. The judge, Clara Hensley, was no-nonsense, glasses low, sharp as a tack. Lydia's team went first, calling it a misunderstanding, claiming the HOA wanted to share my cultural resource. They rolled out a PowerPoint harmony through shared space, with a kid petting a pony. Lydia preached about unity and my confrontational attitude. My turn. I stood, no slides, just facts. Who I am, what I do, how long I've owned this land. I told them I hire local teens, run free veteran programs, and pour everything into this place. Then TRAVUIS unloaded harassment proof, zoning fraud with Lydia's name, the smear campaign. The footage played, her yelling, creeping, threatening. A former board member, Ellen, testified Lydia bragged about taking my barn and bullied dissenters. Lydia's face went pale. Judge Hensley didn't mince words. This isn't about unity. It's an organized attempt to intimidate a citizen, access private property, and abuse county systems. Verdict. HOA barred from my land forever. Lydia ousted from the board. Dula $400,000 in damages for me. And Lydia flagged for fraud investigation. As we left, a news crew cornered her. Red-faced, she snapped, "This isn't over. The community deserves that land." Miguel walked by, held up a shovel and said, "Deserve this." The crowd roared. Outside, TRAVUIS grinned. "You crushed them." I looked toward home. My barn was mine again, and now it was a legend. Post-trial, I carved a cedar sign. Private property photos with horses. Dula 11000/2nd Lydia types composted. Hung it high by the gate. Next day her SUV slowed, stared, then sped off. Word spread, a blogger dubbed it the ranch that beat the HOA. And it blew up. People showed up for pics with me, the horses, the sign. I leaned in Justice Trail tours, Dula 20 ahead, walk where Lydia yelled, snap selfies with my mare, Daisy, now a meme kicking a gavel. It became a hit, kids on field trips asking if my barn was the EVYL HOA ladies clubhouse. Clients who'd stayed loyal grinned as tourists admired the horses. The HOA mailed a weak apology, Lydia's name scrub, but everyone knew. An older couple brought pie, saying, "We thought you were a hermit. Turns out you're the same one." I laughed, poured tea, and planned an arena expansion. Revenge wasn't just legal, it was a cedar sign and a story that stuck. To celebrate, we threw the No Lydia Ranch Jubilee. Miguel and I set up a field lights, hay bales, a sign. "Welcome to the Free Range HOA Presidents Pay Double." We grilled brisket, hired a bluegrass band, post and proud. At dusk, Miguel unveiled a metal Lydia pantsuit, clipboard spinning on a platform. The HOA rodeo bull. $5 a ride. Denied. yelled at every fall. The mayor toasted freedom with sweet tea. No drama, just real community respect, not rules. Weeks later, a kid in a too big cowboy hat asked, "You're the guy who beat the clipboard lady?" I grinned. Guilty. He wanted a barn, a horse, a no Lydia's sign. "Learn what's yours," I said. "And never fear saying no." He asked if horses laugh. Daisy snorted, tail high. "Sometimes," I said. "Especially when justice wins."